Hello, and welcome to all my Flosstube neighbors. I am Chris, and this is Chris Crossstitch, and this is a very special episode of Chris Crossstitch on Tuesday, October 26, 2021. This is my 24th Flosstube video, and obviously this is the Halloween episode. I never would have imagined that I would be sitting here doing this in this getup. I talk about over-the-top Flosstube. I think I may have just taken the cake for over-the-top Flosstube. But I am so glad that you are here with me. If you are a new viewer, I'm sorry. If you are a new viewer, welcome. And I assure you that most weeks I do not look like this. But I am so glad that you are here with me today, and I hope that you enjoyed this very special episode of Flosstube. If you are a returning viewer, you probably expected exactly this. I hope that I did not disappoint in my array today, and I hope that you enjoy it. You know that I love all of you, that I feel so close to you as my viewers, and I am so glad to have you back here with me today. First off, we always start my Flosstube. You know, it's going to be interesting to see how long I keep this thing on, this thing right here. But so far, so good. I can really, you know, isn't it fabulous? Oh my gosh. We are going to talk more about this costume, who I am dressed as loosely. And we will be doing a very special giveaway associated with my costume today, but you'll have to stick around just a little bit longer until we get to that. We always start off each and every episode of Chris Crossstitch by naming Handstanding Cat. Handstanding Cat is the top of See, I'm not prepared. I was so busy creating this concoction that I did not set up I'm not prepared. So we're just going, with the magic of Flosstube, we're going to have a momentary pause, and we return. Handstanding Cat, as I mentioned, was the top of Tiki Tree of 1,000 Faces. I had so many wonderful suggestions, I couldn't pick just one. So I put them all on a random wheel, and we spin each and every week. And if you are if new viewers some of my new viewers have given me new suggestions for Handstanding Cat, and I have put them on the wheel. So as those continue to come in, I will continue to add them. I already have spun it, and this is a wonderful name. My viewer Shannon B has named Handstanding Cat this week, and Handstanding Cat's name is Whip. Whip. WHIP stands for, those of you who may not know, I'm sure all of you do, but if you don't, WHIP stands for Work in Progress in the cross-stitch community. So Handstanding Cat this week is named WHIP. Thank you so much, Shannon. I do appreciate it. Each week we also discuss Ted's Change Jar here on Chris Crossstitch. Ted's Change Jar is a way by which we are raising money for Dolly's Imagination Library. That is a program not only here in the United States, but in other countries as well, in which children under the age of 5 are provided books each month until they reach the age of 5. And we are raising money by your comments. Each comment on this video and every one of my videos from the beginning of my channel until the end of the year, a penny goes into Ted's Change Jar. Some of my viewers have offered to match that total, which is amazing. And some of you are donating through the Buy Me a Coffee link, which is in the show notes below. I'm happy to say that with all those methods combined, we are at $1,400. $1,400 to be donated at the end of the year, at least as of right now. That will grow, of course, before the end of the year. But we're at $1,400 right now, and I'm so very excited about it. Thank you so very much, those of you who comment you know that the comments are a joy to me. So I thank you for the donation and for the penny. I thank you for the interaction more than anything. But those of you who have donated through Buy Me a Coffee, bless you. I'm just so grateful to you. I've had each and every one is very meaningful to me. I see them all. I thank you all so very much, and we're really doing a great thing. And I'm proud of all of you. I'm proud of all of you. And that donation at the end of the year will be in the name of Ted, my viewer's father, and all the viewers of Crossstitch. So thank you so very much. And let's keep going. Let's see how far we can get until the end of the year. I have to tell you, this is heavy. This is a whole lot of stuff. Oh, anyway, but it's fun. All right, on to the cross stitching. Well, I did not have, I worked on two things primarily this week because we were leading up into Halloween week. I decided to, it wasn't necessarily by choice, it was just by function. I didn't get any more ornaments done. I have started slowly getting the finishing items in for my Christmas ornaments that I showed you last week. Won't show those yet. Don't have any fully finished objects to show you because, as I said, I don't have all of the finishing materials just yet. But I worked on, of course, my focus piece for the month, Dark Crosses, Spirits of the Dead by Modern Folk Embroidery. I thought that this was a wonderful, well, I just love stitching on this. I've mentioned before, there's something about Jacob's pieces that just put you in a different place of zen when you're stitching on them, and this one is no exception. I love doing it, so pleased with it. And you can see my before and after photos as they come up. Now, this piece is a stanza from a poem entitled Spirits of the Dead by Edgar Allan Poe. Keep that in mind later on as we talk about the very special giveaway contest. Dark Crosses, Spirits of the Dead. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Many of you have wondered when it was going to return. Many of you have seen countless other people working on this so beautifully and doing so very well on it. And I had to pick it up again this week. You know what it is. It's Glendon Place's Sleepy Hollow. This chart is amazing and it's so very beautiful. When I stitch on it, I become enchanted with it once again. However, as I've mentioned before, it is the slowest stitch for me. And the reason it's so slow for me is because of the fabric. This is a Jobelin, and I do love the fabric from an aesthetic standpoint. From a visual standpoint, it's wonderful. From a stitching standpoint, it drives me bananas because you have to be very gentle with it, even more so than linen. I'm stitching on I'm stitching my other Modern Folk embroidery piece on Edinburgh linen, and you know, with the tautness of my frame, I can stitch on it almost with the same tension as I do on Ada, and it's absolutely fine. But this Jobelin, you have to be very careful. However, I'm getting the hang of it. I'm more adept with it the more I do. I love it. I didn't get very far, but it's a pretty demonstrable change from the last time you saw it. I'm going to continue, as I mentioned last week. I am going to finish this piece by next Halloween for sure, and probably before that, probably well before that. I have all this stuff. I have all this stuff, and it's flipping, and I don't really realize what's happening. But you know, I've really enjoyed seeing several people on Instagram working on this. Several of my Flosstube friends are working on this. They're all doing wonderfully. One of them is actually Mary, Daydream Stitcher. If you haven't watched Mary's channel, please do. She's wonderful. She stitches beautifully and works on beautiful things. And she actually is working on this one and has made leaps and bounds on it. It looks wonderful. She requested that I show it soon. I was watching her yesterday as I was stitching on this piece, and in her latest Flosstube, she requested that I show it. So here it is, Mary, and you're ahead of me, but you're doing beautifully, and you have a birthday coming up. So happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Mary. Even though you're not waiting to start Fruits of Plenty and you're going to go ahead and begin it now instead of waiting till January when I started because of Darcy. Happy birthday to you. Modern Folk Embroidery, Spirits of the Dead, and Glendon Place's Sleepy Hollow. Both have been stitched under the hashtag Spooky Summer Stitch, which we are officially saying goodbye to, but rest assured that it will come back next year and we can all start spooky summer stitching again in May. This week is story time, and there really was no other choice for topics for this particular week other than Halloween and growing up in my small southern town and what Halloween was like for me. It was wonderful. The holidays always were special for me. I think that because it was so small and there wasn't much to do, and most of the social activities revolved around school or church. Whenever the decorations started appearing, I started getting very excited. And that usually happened firstly in school. Those wonderful honeycomb vintage decorations that would go up. And you know, it's interesting, some of these vintage decorations that were not vintage when they were on the bulletin boards and up in the hallways in my particular during my particular childhood, they were making a recurrence. And even some of them recently I've seen in Halloween cross-stitch charts, some of these wonderful vintage decorations, put my teeth back in, that would herald the coming of Halloween. And you knew that right after Halloween was Thanksgiving and right after that was Christmas. So it was very exciting. The honeycomb, and you know what I mean by honeycomb decorations, those wonderful paper things that I kind of still want to put up today, that I want for next year, like up here, but I refrained this year. There was also in my particular, we did this thing, and I don't know that it continued very long after my particular year, but in first grade, I was Halloween King. It was the first time and the last time I ever won anything by popular vote. There were 3 classes. They picked a boy and a girl from each class. Those 3 classes competed and to raise money for something, and I can't remember what the thing was that we were raising money for. But the top fundraiser among the 3 at the Halloween Carnival, which was held at the National Guard Armory, the winner was announced, and they went up and they were the official Halloween King and Queen. We were called Halloween King and Queen, even though, and we weren't like Halloween Prince or Princess. We were Halloween King and Queen, but then there was a grade winner. So my little, one of my best girlfriends, her name was Fifi Moreland, and I were chosen by class vote to be Halloween King and Queen for my first grade class. And we began raising money. Now, my mother She did not know exactly how to go about doing such. Other children's mothers made brownies and did bake sale type things and what have you, but no, not my mother. She took pictures of me and put them on jars and put them around town in the stores. Basically, I was trying to raise money by tip jars. I had nothing to do with this decision. And failed miserably at it. Fifi and I were not chosen overall Halloween king and queen for first grade. It was somewhat of a disappointment, but I got to dress up in a nice suit, and it was a fun night, and it was the whole experience as I look back on it. I can't imagine what I was thinking back then when I was in first grade and going through all that, but it sure is a hoot to talk about now because it's just so ludicrous. She put my picture on jars around town. It's very strange. But, and this you're looking at the picture that she put up on the jars. I'm not one of them. Anyway, that was part of it. The good part of that story is I adored my first grade teacher. I adored my first grade teacher so much. Her name was Doris Whitlock. She moved away. She was there maybe a year or so after I went to second or third grade. But I remember being very sad when she left, and I don't know what happened to her or where she is now, or even if she is still with us. But she was a dear, dear, sweet woman. I have fond memories of her. And as you'll recall, first grade was somewhat traumatizing for me, and she really was wonderful in trying to keep me at ease and keep me in the classroom so I wouldn't run away. So I just loved Miss Whitlock. You know, that Halloween carnival was a big deal, and it wasn't only a big deal to the children who were competing for Halloween king and queen. There was all kinds of things that happened. There were raffles and prizes and bobbing for apples and what have you, but the big controversial event of the evening that everybody was all in about was the cakewalk. You know what this cakewalk thing is? They would put chairs up all around the room, big room in the National Guard Armory. And it was a musical chair situation. And I don't know exactly how it worked, but they would go around the room for cakes that everybody would bring and donate to the thing. And let me tell you, those things could get cutthroat. Some of those real sweet ladies would knock each other flat to the floor to get a lane cake if it was... I've never seen anything like it. It was quite remarkable. You never know the power of a good caramel cake until you until you see Betty Jean knocked to the linoleum. Oh dear. Trick-or-treating on our street was amazing because, you know, as I've said, I was on a street of widowed older women. And those ladies did not go to the Five and Dime and buy chocolate candy. No. They baked. Miss Chloe at the end of the street made little chocolate chip cookies that were amazing. Miss Mary Will, who you've heard about before, she used to make these teeny tiny muffins, like cupcakes, or like muffins. They weren't iced. They didn't need to be iced. But they were about as big around as a quarter, and they were orange muffins. And those things were the most delicious things you have ever eaten in your life. She did something with orange juice, or I don't know, and they were small, but my gosh, and they would put them in little cloth bags and hand them out. And that was, and we got candy. I mean, not everybody on the street did that, but a lot of the older women, they actually made things to give to the children. That would never happen now. But in our town, it was fine to do that. It was absolutely fine, and no one thought twice about it. We got fruit. We got all sorts of things. Sometimes we would get little bags of surprise goodie bags, and we weren't sure what was in them, and they'd have gum and candy and quarters, and I mean, it was really wonderful, idyllic almost. And of course, there were the costumes that we wore. Many of the mothers sewed, so you saw a lot of homemade costumes that were wonderful, running around town on trick-or-treat night, on Halloween night. But that was the heyday when I was a little boy in the early 70s and going into the 80s. That was the heyday of the Ben Cooper and Collegeville costumes. You know, the ones that you would get at the 5 and Dime. They were in the box, and it was the plastic mask with the vinyl smock. Every character, every monster or pop culture, superheroes, movie characters, Star Wars, Planet of the Apes, you name it, you could find it in one of those, in either a Ben Cooper or a Collegeville costume. I could not remember for the life of me which ones I had other than these two. Vampires for some reason didn't scare me as much as other monsters scared me. I was a spooked out little boy. I remember I had a Casper the Ghost one that just came to me. But for some reason, the vampires didn't bother me as much, which makes absolutely no sense at all, since, vampires are no joke in the movie world. But I remember these two. I remember I wanted one really, really badly. And I think it was the one with the red. And it was, we went ahead and got it for me. That was actually a vampira. I just didn't wear the smock. I wore the mask. I didn't wear the smock. We made an outfit for me. But we loved those things. And we would wear them. Some of us would wear them to school during school. They'd let us wear them to school one day. And apparently I don't know if they still make them now, but they had a resurgence, I believe, in the 90s. And they might still even make them today. I don't know. It seems like everything I talk about in the toy segments, after I talk about it, I realize, oh, they still make that. That's remarkable. And there's a documentary. There's a documentary about these box costumes that's called Halloween in a Box. I haven't seen it, but I know that I found out today that there's a documentary about it. I'm going to look it up. But those are some of my childhood Halloween memories. I'm sure I'll remember more for next year. Talk about later years when I was part of the haunted houses and what have you. But I hope that you have, however you choose to recognize it, if you choose to recognize it, I hope that you have a safe and fun Halloween in your family and with your children and grandchildren and whatever you may have. I'm probably going to snuggle on the sofa and watch an old Hammer horror film and eat chocolate chip cookies and think about trick-or-treating and those ladies who would give out those bags of goodies. So now it's time to announce the giveaway winners from last week. Last week we opened another of the surprise bundles. Those were provided to me by my dear viewer, Trisha, and I have no idea what's in them. I have a box full of them. We opened one last week and we discovered that there were actually two giveaway prizes in it. So we drew the winners for those this morning, and I'm going to announce them now. And to help me is my dear friend. You all know and love him. He normally helps me with my toy chest segment, but he has he wants to show you his costume too. So he wants to help me out with the giveaway. So Sal, if you want to go ahead and come on up, you can. Come on. It takes him a little time. He's short. Come on, hurry. There you go, Sal. Sal, can you show everybody your costume? There you are. You were probably hanging around in the scraps when I did the Hildy's Hayride fully finished piece, weren't you? Yeah, because those patches look very familiar on your hat there. Well, good repurposing, Sal. Okay, so the first giveaway is this Pooh ornament. Pooh and Piglet ornament. It's a kit. It comes with the floss, the fabric, everything you need to make this. And the winner of this giveaway is Susan Alston. Susan, you won. Please email me your address and I will get that to you just as soon as possible. Go ahead and take that one, Sal. The next giveaway are, it's another kit. It's these fabric boxes. We use the keyword butterfly because the charts are little butterflies on there. And again, this comes with everything that you need to create these. I believe it even comes with the cardboard. The winner of this one is Carolyn Mitchell. So Carolyn, please email me your address and I will get those in the mail to you as soon as possible. So Susan Alston for the Pooh ornament and Carolyn Mitchell for the butterfly ornament. So take that one if you know, you're getting cheeky. All right, and we're going to do another giveaway. So we're going to open another surprise bundle here. This is very exciting. I do not know what is in this. You're going to have to pull that string. I can't do it. I'm holding you with one hand and my other hand, I can't do this one-handed. All right, well, I'll try. Hold on. Well, you hold it and I'll just get the string off of it. How's that? I know it probably doesn't taste good, does it? The magic of editing. So I haven't looked. We just unwrapped it. Sal and I unwrapped it. So let's find out what is in this particular package. Sal, your hair's messed up. Hold on. There we go. Okay. Again, we're going to have two different giveaways. These are both, oh, these are cute. These are also kits. This is a little duck kit. It seems to come with some sort of dowel. This is like a little mini hanging ornament. We're going to do duck, the keyword duck for this particular one. And then there is another one, and this is another hanging ornament type thing. Again, another kit. It comes with the floss, everything in here, the chart. This one is an Amish quilt kit, a little hanging quilt thing. And we're going to use the word Amish, A-M-I-S-H, Amish for this one. So again, for this little count and cross stitch kit, the duck and Amish. And one more. And this is the fun one. Sal, you're going to have to go away for this one, okay? All right, say goodbye to everybody. All right, bye, Sal. The third giveaway is going to be a surprise giveaway, and it's going to be, it's a good one. I'm not going to tell you what it is, though, but the prize, that is. But this is a bit of a contest giveaway. I want you to guess who I am dressed as today. What is my costume today? And this, there are two clues for it. One was earlier in the video when I was talking about a particular piece based on a poem. That is a clue who can tell you who or what I am dressed as. And that's a key to the clue, a key to the riddle. And the second is that in a particular Broadway show, the title character appears in a scene in this costume, not this exact one, but in a costume like this, and is portraying this particular character that I'm portraying today. So those are two clues. If you can guess what that is, put it in your comment. And what I'm going to do is everyone who guesses correctly, I'm going to put on the wheel, and then I'm going to spin the wheel next week and show you what you have won for the special costume Halloween prize. So I think that'll be fun. It's a little bit of a different kind of giveaway. So I will put your name on the wheel and I'll spin it, and then we'll pick a winner that way as I record the video. So that'll be a little bit of fun. Wrapping up today, I have one more thing to leave you with, and a special thank you. We have a beautiful, beautiful cat named Pumpkin. And here's Pumpkin. Pumpkin is so named because we found him the week before Halloween, almost exactly 8 years ago today. Not this very day, but close. It was about 2 days ago, 2 or 3 days ago. Pumpkin was a little kitty who was living in a storm drain beside a large grocery store not too far from us in West Hollywood, California. And one of my friends who lived nearby passed that storm drain every day. And Pumpkin, at that time, this little kitty, was being fed cans of cat food that people would buy in the grocery store and then leave on the edge of the storm drain. And that's how he was subsisting. And my friend posted a little photograph of him one night on social media, and I wrote him immediately and said, if we can catch that little kitty cat, I can't stand this anymore. I can't stand seeing that. I'm going to, I'll take him. So we got a trap, and about 4 nights later, my friend called me and said, come pick up your new kitten. I took him to the vet, got all his shots, got him checked out. He quarantined in our extra bathroom for 2 weeks and became a part of our family. And Pumpkin is very, very special and treasured. My other cat, Blueberry, was at least 14 years old, if not 15 years old. And on Saturday, we said goodbye to him. He was the sweetest cat, and he was just an old fella. There wasn't anything particularly wrong with him. He was just an older cat that we also rescued from a rescue organization. He was the one little gray cat in a cage with about 4 or 5 other cats that of all tabbies and spots and what have you. And there was this little solid gray cat looking just like a Blueberry because he looks like a Russian blue. And I saw him on the street 14 years ago and had to take him home with me. And we said, as I said, we said goodbye to him on Saturday. It was absolutely the right thing to do. And we all feel good in our decision. And so did Blueberry. He was ready to go. I tell this story only because as I was bidding the vet who came to our home to take care of Blueberry, there was a package laying at the door. So as I said goodbye to the vet, I picked this package up and I came downstairs and I was, falling apart. And I opened it and it was a beautiful gift from one of you, from one of my viewers. And inside was this little card that said it's Halloween. And I was blown away. Not only was the gift wonderful and the words in the card wonderful, but the timing was perfect. So Renee F., I want to thank you for your gift. And I don't necessarily feel the need to show what I received to you guys. But there is no doubt in my mind that this neighborhood that we have created is powerful and special in its own way. I cannot thank you enough, each of you, for what you provide to me. And I hope in some small way that I provide that to you. Thank you, Renee. It was beautiful and well-timed, and it was a beautiful ray of sunshine on a rather sad day. So thank you so very much. Thank all of you. Until next time, have a wonderful week. Have great stitching. Have a safe and wonderful Halloween. And I'll see you here next week. Take care. Bye-bye.